Hello everyone, Janine here, and it's time for another session of Tips from the Trenches. Firstly, thank you so much to those that are sharing and liking these sessions. It's wonderful to see how many people are viewing them. It is my hope that the information shared here will help people to know that they do not have to do this journey alone. So please continue to share that we can get that message out. So last week I mentioned that we will be looking at caregiver stress. So I thought we'd start off with some stats. We all like our statistics. So did you know that in the US, approximately 43.5 million caregivers have provided unpaid care for an adult or child in one calendar year? So this was stats published in 2015 by the National Alliance for Caregivers. And in that same publication, it was stated that about 15.7 million adult family caregivers care for someone who has Alzheimer's disease or one of the other dementias. And so to put that in perspective, this is higher than the population of Sweden and a little less than the population of Romania. So while these are staggering numbers, I would like us to better understand how this impacts caregivers on a day-to-day basis. So listen to these stats. Family caregivers spend an average of 24.4 hours per week as caregivers, and 1 in 4 caregivers will spend more than 41 hours a week. Then measured by duration of care, Alzheimer's and dementia caregiver providers can care on an average of 1 to 4 years more than caregivers caring for someone with an illness other than Alzheimer's disease. So unfortunately, this type of caregiving, those that are caregiving for people with dementia, is associated with higher levels of caregiver burnout. So as we know, it's impossible to eradicate stress when it comes to caregiving for somebody living with dementia. It's just part of the journey, unfortunately. But what we are able to do is to reduce the stress with the hope that we will avoid that burnout. However, before we can begin to do that, we must come to terms with the fact that it is stressful. And sometimes we are in denial about that and feel that we can manage this on our own. And so there are about 10 common warning signs that if something doesn't change, if we don't make some steps towards self-care, that there is a strong possibility that we will experience caregiver burnout. I'm going to highlight a few in our session today, but for the sake of time, I will provide you with a link to the information on the others and how to reduce these risks in the link below in the comments. So here are some of the warning signs. So one of them is denial. So denying that the disease is going to have a long-term impact on your person. Oh, don't worry, the person will get better. We just got to get through this little challenging situation. Anger with the person living with dementia. You're angry. Why didn't they listen to you? Why didn't they take better care of themselves? Why didn't they exercise? Angry with yourself because you feel you should have provided better meals. You should have encouraged them more. Angry with others. Withdrawing socially. Over the top emotional reaction. So you seem to cry at the drop of a hat when you never were somebody like that. You get more irritated easily. Anxiety, and then exhaustion. You're just barely able to function, barely able to prepare a meal for yourself. So please do take a look at the link below for more of those signs and more information and how to reduce those risks. So unfortunately, it is all too common for caregivers to ignore the signs of stress and to continue on because they feel that there is no alternative. So often there are, but we just don't know how to go about getting the help that we need. Another unique aspect of caring for someone with Alzheimer's disease or one of the dementias is that caregivers almost always feel guilty in one way or another. Guilt is a big, big factor. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that you are the most important person in the life of the person living with dementia. And so therefore your well-being is of the utmost importance. I really want you to hear that message. Sometimes we don't hear it like that you actually are the most important. You as the caregiver are the most important person in the life of the person living with dementia. You know that part for sure. And sometimes that's a big burden to bear. But the other side of the coin is that if you're not looking after yourself, or if those people around you are not helping you, then you can't be the person, the caregiver that you need to be for that person. And so over my past 10 years of working with people and families that are on this journey, there's two statements that I hear over and over again. So from the caregiver, I hear, you know what, I don't want to bother my family. I don't want to bother my friends. Everybody is so busy these days. This is my responsibility. I need to take care of it. And then from the friends and families and co-workers, I'll often hear, I want to help. I wish you'd ask me. I just don't know what to do. And I feel that if I offered, she'd be offended and think that she's not doing a good enough job. So what I'd like you to do is to join me in our next session where we're going to discuss how you as the caregiver can learn to ask for help and take small steps towards that much needed self-care. And then for the family, for the friends, for the co-workers, I'm going to give you some suggestions on how you can offer your help without offending. You know, we'll look at how you can offer that gift of time and how that can positively impact the well-being of the caregiver. The amazing thing is, even if it's just a small amount of time and you think it's insignificant and it's not going to make a difference, you will be amazed at how that small amount of time that you offer the person can have lasting effect and make a huge difference. So once again, thank you for staying tuned, for your attention. I want to wish you peace, I want to wish you strength, and I want to wish you moments of joy. Until next time.